the wise man travels east. Some of you might have listened to this phrase, but what does it really intend? Today, more than ever in our lifetime, it seems to be clear that the world order has been shifting. Nowadays, we live in times of crisis in almost every aspect of society: pandemics, climate change, war, and inflation. However, if one is a thinking person, one should have something pretty clear by now, and it is that the world and society we live in is a stage. We are in the middle of a game of chess, and they want us to think we are nothing more than mere pawns. Topics like this may seem irrelevant to some. However, having a clear and better understanding of where we, as a civilization, are heading, is crucial in the path to better understanding the world order, and this will allow you to play ahead of the curve. The world order has been shifting from west to east for some time now. This isn't something new. The events of the last couple of years have been just the tip of the iceberg. First of all, we got to understand that time is fractal, so whatever is happening these days had already happened one way or another before. The thing is that we are on the dawn of a new era, so the events we are experiencing now are the end of a huge macro cycle that has been on for the past 5 centuries. So here we got a small history capsule. Indeed, the last time the world experienced a transfer of power and wealth from one hemisphere to the other, it happened the inverse of how it is happening today. That time it was from east to west. The Byzantine, Eastern Roman, Empire was the dominant center of the world until the 14th century, when it had its definite collapse with the fall of Constantinople in 1453. However, its undermining of it started with the Fourth Crusade back at the dawn of the 13th century, powered by the Republic of Venice and their intriguing black nobility. A century and a bit later, Venetians fully completed their mission and transferred the world order to the West, with the establishment of capitalism as known today, the British and Dutch East India Companies, and the Bank of Amsterdam, the first ever central bank, in the early 17th century. Now, of course, there's much more to this, and you could dive deeper and deeper into rabbit holes, but for the sake of this video, I think that is sufficient. Coming back to nowadays, we all know this year, 2022, that it has been marked since the first months by the financial war between Russia, with the implied backing of China, on one side, and the United States and its NATO allies, on the other. However, what is unfolding behind the scenes is way bigger than what it seems. As I have stated before, the world of geopolitics is a chessboard, and as in every chess game, no substantial move is made without previous planning. And as how it seems, Putin understands this perfectly, and he was thinking several steps ahead of the West when he launched Russia's attack on Ukraine. The fact that the US decided to militarize the dollar against Russia was a wake-up call for the BRICS countries, who acted accordingly by accelerating the transition. Now it'll be foolish to say that they didn't expect it nor knew it. That is exactly why we have seen, not just how sanctions have failed, which was on almost every India's radar but Biden, but also raised awareness globally about the danger and vulnerability of a dollar-based economy, and having the US as the sole world power. Here lies the key reason on why we have seen and will continue to see a strengthening and expansion, in as many ways as possible, between the relationships of the BRICS countries. We have seen the West enter a new spiral of European monetary inflation to pay energy bills because of their dependency on Russian gas. The euro, yen, and sterling are already collapsing, the dollar will be next. From Putin's point of view, it is all going according to the plan. Russia has expanded its power over Asian nations, including populous India and Iran, with Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Turkey and Argentina most probably being the next ones to enter the geopolitical war against the West. Russia is subsidizing Asia's industrial revolution with cut-price energy and no-brain deals. In conjunction with China, they have convinced Middle Eastern oil and gas producers that their future lies in Asian markets, not in the West, thus threatening the beloved petrodollar, which has been the bedrock for US supremacy over the last 50 years. All of what has been stated above lead us just to ratify Macindra's theory from his 1904 essay, The Geographical Pivot of History, in which he states Russia to be the true geopolitical center of the world. Truth is, the SWIFT system is going to cease to function in a couple of years and thus dilutes the predominant role of the dollar as the global monetary reserve. In 10+ years politicians, economists, and every single person that fits in between those fields will clearly see how this action was the straw, or one of the last, that broke the camel's back, and probably the worst mistake made by the US, as pooling the economies, militaries, and resources of the BRICS was the best way to dethrone the US as the sole world power. Now, remember, this world and this society is a stage, and the US didn't really have any other choice, not because of their incompetent puppet rulers, which they got though, but because at the end of the day winners and losers were already decided by the true hidden rulers of the world. However, you might be thinking, if the SWIFT system is going to die, there must be something ready to replace it. So, what would this be? If you thought of this, let me tell you, you are on the right path, my friend. The answer to this question is exactly the piece of Putin's puzzle that is missing, not for so long though. And this is a new monetary system to protect the BRICS from the approaching Western currency crisis. Behind the curtains, they are now assembling a new gold-backed neutral multi-currency system. I will let you guess and answer in the comments, which little friend of ours fits perfectly into these conditions. This is how we come to an end for this, Understanding the World Order video. Thank you all very much for watching us. Like, subscribe, and feel free to drop any thoughts, ideas, questions, or whatever you feel like in the comments section. Also, in the description, I'll drop the links I used for this presentation in case you guys want to dive deeper into the topic. Please don't forget to like the video, share it with whomever you feel should have an understanding of it, and subscribe to the channel so you won't lose the next one. Talking about this, let me know in the comment section which topics would you guys be interested in me covering.